Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, December 10th. So today we have the moon in Scorpio all day. It's very deep, very intense, very probing. We're doing just as much shadow work as we are realizing new passions, new desires. We are unpacking a lot of emotion, a lot of our mental plane. We're really trying to connect the dots. And of course, the moon being in the Scorpio energy, very reflective, taking us back to the new moon in Scorpio that took place November 13th. A lot has taken place. We popped out with this new version of self. We're in experimental mode. There's been a lot that has happened since then, and we are definitely still wading through the highs, the lows, the everything in between in order to find our new middle ground, our new grounding point, our new vibration and frequency signature. So there are 8 different aspects here today, all 8 of them going to involve the moon, which means that this is a moon day. Heavy emotions, heavy thoughts coming up in our awareness in order for us to deeply process them and pluck out some awarenesses, some aha moments, some epiphanies that we haven't had as of yet. So with that being said, we kick the day off with the moon in Scorpio, making a tougher aspect with Chiron, the wounded healer, who of course is retrograde in Aries energy. This is needed because, of course, we have to identify the wounds in order to heal them. We have to identify the problems, the issues in order to resolve them. And this has a lot to do with this identity that we are currently in, this position that we're in, watching the old identity kind of collapse, the new identity not quite feeling comfortable enough to be anchored in. We're really exploring the blockages in our emotions, in our mental plane, especially when it comes to seeing ourselves in this new light. The moon is then going to interact with Pluto. Pluto, of course, ruler over this Scorpio energy. Pluto, the great transformer himself in this Capricorn energy, is definitely giving us a different perspective, a different glimpse within ourselves, within the conditioning, within the programming, within our emotions. So, of course, Pluto is here to kind of shake things up, give us a different perspective, show us where it is that we've been through these darker parts of our life experiences in order to empower us, in order for us to see where it is that we have to take our power, our control back. Because this particular interaction is very intense, there's likely going to be a new mood, new attitude, new perspective that comes out of this particular interaction. The moon in Scorpio then going to interact with the sun, who of course is in Sagittarius energy. Lucky for us, this is a beautiful interaction, which is going to bring forth a new awareness, a new aha moment. There's something in our unconscious realm, especially where emotions are concerned. There's something that we are finally realizing, something that has been unearthed, something that has been revealed by peeling back the layers of how it is that we're thinking, how it is that we're feeling, especially with some of those darker thoughts, darker emotions, because the sun shining a bright light in the Sagittarius energy is showing us where there is a new truth, a new mission, a new purpose, a new path, a new direction that is opening up for us the minute that we realize what it is that's actually holding us back. The moon then goes ahead, directly opposes, sits across from Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener. He likes to disrupt us. He likes to throw lightning bolts down to us in the higher realms of our intelligence. This is where aha moments pop off, where epiphanies pop off, where new perspective, new ideas actually begin to formulate. Because Uranus retrograde in this Taurus energy has been about illuminating where it is that we've been praying for change but not getting out of the way in order to actually usher that new change in, there is going to be a deep, profound, intense emotional aha moment on where it is that we've been holding on too tightly to the old, what it is that we created out of that old version of self, and what it is that we've been praying for that actually requires us to get out of our own damn way. This is likely going to shake us up in our inner realm. This is going to really put us in a state where there's a lot of electricity coursing through our bodies. This can have a major impact on our central nervous system, creating anxiety, anticipation. But Nonetheless, we need to kind of be a little bit frazzled in order to understand what aspects of our lives are creating this particular energy within us. Of course, we want to resolve these particular issues, but we have to become aware of them in order to actually start working on them. The moon is then going to interact with Chiron, this time in a much better way. This is very revealing to us. Again, we're in a new mood, a new attitude, a new perspective. We're seeing ourselves from a different set of eyes. The earlier aspect that would have illuminated the wounds is now putting us in a position to tap into our inner wisdom, into our inner knowledge, and absolutely see what it is that we've been holding on to, what we've been pouring into, what it is that we've been keeping alive, and where it is that we have the ability to flip the script. This is showing us where it is that we have to grow. We have to heal. We have to integrate some of the particular life lessons that we're still trying to kind of process and percolate upon. We have to make this part of our being. We have to understand the version of ourselves that we're being called to step into in order for us to enter into a new karmic chapter that, of course, is coming at us very quickly with the solstice energy. The moon is then going to semi-square, creating a little bit of a tension and a conflict point with Mercury. Mercury, of course, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves in this Capricorn energy, definitely making us a little bit more serious, a little bit more somber, down to earth, if you will. And sometimes being down to earth is a little bit depressing. The moon being our heart space, Mercury being our head space, they're not on the same page. We're having some emotions, we're having some intuitive insights that's pulling us in one direction, but the logical, practical perspective that Mercury and Capricorn has can't really see why it is that we're trusting this particular gut reaction as fully as we currently are. There is a lot of confusion on what it is that we should be leaning more into, whether that is our emotions or our logical, practical mindset. And this particular interaction is definitely going to illuminate the distance, the gap in between how it is that we're thinking and how it is that we are feeling. The moon is then going to interact with the North Node in Aries in not the nicest way. The North Node in Aries is our soul path. It's our destiny point. It's where we have to kind of start orienting as far as our path, our direction moving forward goes. Because this is the not as nice aspect as we could hope for, this is going to illuminate where it is that we're feeling blocked, challenged, and coming up with a little bit of direction, a little bit of clarity on the steps that are needed in order for us to get away from where it is that we're at and closer to where it is that we desire to be. The moon is going to wrap up the day with a beautiful trine, beautiful interaction, beautiful aspect with Neptune. Neptune, of course, just went direct in his place of power in this Pisces energy. We're still learning to kind of acclimate to this new energy. There's been a wave of emotion, a wave of intuition, a wave of imagination, a wave of creativity that we're just tapping into. And so our intuition is very strong. Our dreamlike capability is very strong. We are definitely kind of receiving more insight from the higher realms of intelligence than we have in the previous months. And because of this, we're really starting to feel rooted, grounded in knowing what it is that we're being called to pursue. This can be a very magical time where weird things start to happen. But of course, because the moon in Scorpio is about that deep, penetrating emotional work, and Neptune is about healing through soul contracts, through karma, we're starting to see where it is that we are closing doors on specific chapters, and we are getting well equipped, well prepared to jump into this new karmic chapter that, of course, is coming at us very quickly, again, with the solstice energy.